Thank you for pressing play. My name is Kay Rubacek and I'm a producer for Swoop Films. We're talking with Enver Tohti today, a doctor from China. The first time we interviewed Enver was in our documentary Hard to Believe, when he told us his harrowing experience of being forced, as a doctor, to extract the organs from a living person, and that resulted in that person's death, killing them while they were still alive. That is essentially the practice of forced organ harvesting. So Enver is a first-hand witness of forced organ harvesting, and not just a witness. He is someone who has done it, someone who has repented for it, and someone who has bravely continued to speak out about it. Thank you, Enver. I'm really glad to see you happy and healthy. So I heard that you actually had COVID-19. Can you tell me about that? How are you feeling?
Well, but my voice only recovered. I fully regained my voice like it was only just a few days ago.
So how long was that period of time that you didn't have your voice at 100%?
Around 20th of March.
Oh, that's quite some time. Yeah.
Yeah. And until the beginning of May. There are many people try to interview me. I said, if you are happy that I'm start talking and you can't hear anything, then you can interview me. Yeah.
So I've got you at the time when you're speaking well, you're looking well, and you've fully recovered. As a doctor, Enver, what do you make of this situation, and it being a Chinese doctor?
Yeah.
What do you imagine is actually going on in China right now?
It's not easy to talk about it, because when we start talking and the people say, are you sure what you are talking? And we, as a doctor from China, spent years in China, we knew what we are talking about.
You've been in the healthcare system. You understand how the system there works. It's obviously, well, it seems obvious to me that it's quite different, but I think only because I've done some research, but I think for a lot of people, it's not obvious that the Chinese healthcare system is different to the free world.
This free world, they treat everybody with truth, honesty. That is opposite in China. This is from long time ago, and since that Cultural Revolution, the whole Chinese people, they lost the morality. They become just a human being without moral, pursuing money and power and nothing else. So in such society, everything can happen. You see, there's a newspaper called People's Daily in China. That is a party's newspaper.
The Chinese Communist Party.
Yes. Yeah, we have to read it, and everybody read in turn every week. And on this newspaper, apart from the date, there's no one sentence or no one word is true. And we do that. And we also developed a way to how to read a newspaper. We just read between the line, then we know we still pick up the news. If they say in such one province, there's harvesting in rice, and we will know, okay, there's a problem with rice in that province.
Oh, so if they're saying the good news in that province, it's actually, know that it's intentionally covering up a bad situation?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking at the opposite, right?
Yes, we look at the opposite. And secondly, I'm not sure how much you understand Chinese.
Very limited, very limited.
Do you know this Yao Yan?
No.
No, it is translated, it's a rumor.
Okay.
But this word now it has new meaning. Yao Yan, it means 遥遥领先的预言. It means far advanced prediction.
Okay, you have to explain that to me.
Yes. Why? Because you cannot you cannot hear the information which you need through the state media. And all media is controlled. So if you heard some rumor today, then this rumor will become true. We call it this is far more advanced prediction.
Okay, that's rather complicated, but it seems to me that anything in China, to really get some truth out of anything there, really requires understanding complexities and intentionally having to look at things in a complex way.
You follow the rumor until you find it is true or false. So, of course, there's no all rumors are true. However, all truth, it begins with rumor in China.
Okay, so with this coronavirus, CCP virus, Wuhan virus, COVID-19, whatever, I'd like to know what you want to call it, you must have been paying attention to some rumors on that at the early onset of that virus.
Yeah, exactly. Not only pay attention to the rumor as a doctor, from this workload of just medical professions in China, you can figure out how bad it is. There's a report published by Henry Junction Society in UK. They said the actual figure in China, it is 15 to 20 or even 40 times higher. I think 40 times higher, it is more close to the reality.
Why is that?
In Wuhan, this city, you just look at that crematory.
Oh, the crematorium.
Yeah, crematorium, yes. They have around 80 crematorium. That is enough for the normal
workload of
dead people.
In that city, okay.
Yeah, normal workload. And they work from 9 to 5. But when this started, this crematorium started working 24 hours a day. And Chinese state, they dispatched 40 mobile crematorium equipment to the city. It's still like it is not, didn't meet the demand.
40 additional mobile crematoriums.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gee, it really sounds, where there isn't that smoking gun piece of evidence, it comes back similar to the forced organ harvesting issue, doesn't it? Of reading between the lines, looking at all the pieces of evidence there and coming to conclusions. Are you seeing parallels between these two issues?
To some extent, this coronavirus has accelerated this organ transplantation.
Accelerated?
Many people, the lungs have a lungs failure. So they just get a new lung.
That's their solution.
Yes, for many people, for the rich, for the powerful.
I did hear of the Chinese regime was bragging about doing a double lung transplant, which obviously someone was killed for to receive those lungs. But I didn't realize that was really just an advertisement to say, we've got lungs.
I would suggest you to go online and go to the Chinese state-run voluntary organ donation registry website. And you see the number of people registered.
That's public information?
Yeah, that's public information.
Okay.
Yeah. The last time I checked, it was before I gave a talk to French Parliament in February 26. I checked the 5 days before that. So voluntarily registered donor is 1.8 million. Let's compare UK, 24 million registered, and you still have a difficulty in getting an organ. China, only 1.8 million registered. It is 0.0014% of the population registered for the organ donation. But they have the largest number of organs on Earth.
Do you believe more people are becoming more aware? Are they paying more attention?
I came to this country 20 years ago. I spent 20 years trying to tell this world that there are hideous crime going on in China. Only this virus has showed the world what the Chinese government capable of. Chinese, they say bottom line. The bottom line is they don't have bottom line.
That's a saying in China.
Yeah. You see, in Chinese patent office, there was one registered patent, and that device strike here makes you brain dead, which makes you qualified as a donor. And that is invented even not a doctor, is a police. He invented this.
To think that a medical person would come up with that type of machine, there may be some plausibility that they have some health purpose. I don't know, even that seems a far stretch. But for a non-medical person, a police officer, to come up with that, it seems so far out. It's a great example of no bottom line. So what do you think is going to happen next? What's your far-seeing future predictions? These what's on the rumor mill that you think may come true?
Well, there are many things beyond explanation. You cannot explain it, and then you can't understand it. For example, this coronavirus. Why certain country hit them hard? Some countries, they are pretty much okay. For example, Taiwan, for example.
Yes, that's right.
Only a few hundred affected, only 6 people died.
And geographically, they're so close.
There's one explanation, and I really like it, is that the closer relationship you have with this Communist Party, the more coronavirus, the harder you got hit by the coronavirus. Of course, somebody decided this coronavirus sent by God to punish CCP. And I said, thank you. I like that idea.
It's not punishing just the CCP. I mean, it's outside of China. It's around the world.
Yeah. UK, for example, not having the largest death number in Europe. So if we deep examining UK relationship with CCP, you will find so many things, so deep. Now United States is kicking out Huawei, this company, and the UK is still allowing Huawei and giving Huawei 30% of the share of the market. Huawei, it is the military company. They have intelligence gathering agenda, mm-hmm. and they still allowing it to operate in this country. Taiwan, they said no to the Communist Party. There's no many cases.
Do you think they're also very familiar with the operations of the Chinese Communist Party, whereas the UK, well, maybe the UK is doing these things knowingly. Maybe they're more ignorant than we believe? I
don't think it's more ignorant. I think it is money talks. People needed to know more. People needed to know that in China, this party is unlike any party you have ever seen. There's a Chinese general who wrote a book in 1999. This book, it says, Unrestricted Warfare.
I have that book.
You have that book?
I do,
okay.
Yes.
What he says that to have war with the United States, we are ready to sacrifice all cities in the southeastern part of China. 70 or 80% of Chinese population is in the coastal line.
We're talking millions of people there, aren't we?
Yes, and they are ready to sacrifice all this population only for the survival of the power, Communist Party's power. If the party treated their own people like in this way, will you think they will treat you nicer?
No.
Yeah. You see?
No, so, when you put it in that perspective, it really makes the coronavirus look kind of small, because that was something that they couldn't handle whereas war or whatever that they may be preempting in the southeast, or willing to lose people to in the southeast, that would be something maybe even intentional.
It is intentional, yes. Yeah. So this coronavirus, in my opinion, is intentional. They hide this information for 3 weeks. That is intentional.
Maybe they thought they could contain it, or maybe they just didn't care.
I think probably they thought they can contain it, or from the Chinese leaders' behavior, they may have produced this vaccine before this, and unfortunately, the vaccine didn't work.
Okay, that's one theory I haven't heard yet. I've heard a few of those theories, but I have not heard that one, and I wouldn't put it past them either.
Yeah,
I wonder.
we don't know, but we will find out this true probably 1 or 2 years later.
Can you tell me that Chinese phrase again for rumor that you
Far
mentioned?
advanced prediction, 遥遥领先的预言.
Okay, so we have heard some far advanced prediction today, and we will be seeing what actually will come true in the months and years to come, I suppose. Thank you so much, Enver Tohti, for speaking with me today and sharing some important insights into how the Chinese regime operates. And I think more of us really need to know about that now. More people are actually willing to know about that now, and that is the key. That is the key, that we actually want to have that knowledge. So if anything good came out of this virus situation, is that we are learning some vital information that's going to protect us, I think, all in the future. That was Enver Tohti. If you haven't seen Enver's testimony, you can watch it in Hard to Believe. The link is below this video. Please subscribe to our channel, ask us questions in the comments section, and thank you for watching today. Stay well and stay safe.